Welcome back guys, my name is Johnny, I'm a 32-year-old amateur cyclist and today I'm doing the final and bonus stages of the Zwift Games. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video, last week I did stage 5, which was the Three Step Sisters, arguably the hardest course of the whole games, and they had a massive climb at the end. Now this week instead, for the stage 6, there's actually 2 courses, the first one being a TT and the second one being like a funky, gamey crit race. The TT is 11.1 kilometers with 94 meters of elevation, so it's not too much, but I do believe it's all stacked towards the end, so it could get a little bit challenging. Now the crit race is a little bit different. It's 15.8 kilometers, but it's not your traditional race, because I've seen from other videos online, there's like power-ups that make you go quicker, or also obstacles that make you go slower. So as well as racing, you also have to try and stay and get the good power-ups and avoid the bad ones. So obviously the crit race itself won't be a true test of fitness, because there's a whole game thing involved, but it should still be fun. So yeah, originally I wasn't really planning on doing both stages, but they look fun and they are staggered 1 hour after the other, and I will be doing them that way, so I'll be pretty cut towards the end of it. Right, enough of the talking now, let's get into it and see how I get on. All right, 20 seconds to go. Someone rightly asked, why aren't people using a TT bike? I don't have one. So, raw dogging it with the S-Work ethos. Let's see how it goes. Up next. Right, I did have a good few nerves going into this TT because first of all, I've never done a time trial before, so I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But also the thought of having to do my best, most consistent effort over a distance like 11k just felt quite daunting. You know, having to give you everything over a short distance like this means you have to go quite hard. And I've never done it before, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to be mentally prepared for it and whether I had the legs for it as well. And now this happens, right? I've not even started the race here and I've already got someone overtaking me, so I'm getting even more into my own head here and I'm thinking, right, everyone is going to be overtaking me, which is fine, but it's just not a great feeling as you set off to do the race. Anyway, in terms of what I was thinking going into the race, my strategy was to try and not burn all my matches straight away and go all out the first few K. Just wanted to keep a good, consistent effort throughout the whole race. It felt really challenging, but also manageable. And if I was able to, if I had a bit of energy left in the tank towards the end, try and do negative splits. And yeah, like I said before the start of the race, I am quite poor in Zwift terms, so there's the currency gold drops and I don't have many of them, meaning that I don't have, first of all, a TT bike for the TT stage, and I also don't have the best wheels to be using. Now, I don't know how much this will have affected my time, but it also was another thing that was added to the not so great feeling about having to do a TT. It does sound here like I've got quite a few negative thoughts in my head, and I think it's fair, and I also think it's normal. I think your brain kind of tricks you and your subconscious into not wanting to do something. If you consider something to be hard, challenging, difficult, the first natural reaction is to just try not to do it. At least it is like that for me. The key thing though is to just push through and do it anyway, which is what I did. And somehow we've made it to the last K, and after having been overtaken by about a handful of riders, I am the one overtaking someone, and I was absolutely buzzing here. He actually made my race. So glad that as well. That was towards the end, so I had a nice little high just before finishing. And to finish it off, I did try and do a nice little cheeky sprint, but I don't think there was many watts left in the legs at this stage. Oh my days. I'm cut. Legs are burning. I'm overheating. Drowned in sweat. Whew. I'm not sure I'm built for these TTs. First one I've done, so I actually don't know how good or bad it is. But 33rd. At the moment, I'll take that. Just glad I completed it for now. On to the next one. Right, 25 seconds to go for the second race. I've had time to cool down a little bit. Had a few carbs, and I feel ready for it. I think I'm definitely a little bit less scared, let's say, about this one. Could go either way, really, with all these power-ups and bonuses. Could do better than what I normally do in this category, let's say. I definitely put a lot less pressure on myself on this race compared to the previous one. I think obviously mainly because it's more of a gamey type of race, and gamey, that sounds weird, game-y type of race. And yeah, I just saw it as a bit of an opportunity to have a bit of fun, try a different mode of racing, and yeah, just have a blast in general. Obviously the first couple of laps were also more carnage than the last ones because everyone is still kind of figuring out how those squares move, the patterns, you know, the colours of them, how they switch. Yeah, a lot of carnage the first few laps, but I found it quite a bit of fun, to be honest with you. I did see online quite a bit of hate towards this stage, and I didn't really figure out why people hated it this much. Obviously, this is a bonus stage, so it doesn't count towards the GC. And Zwift also gave 2 different options of completing a stage, so you didn't have to do this. I think they purposely put 2 stages, so if you want a bit of a serious one, you do the TT, and if you want to have a bit of fun, you do this one. And if you want to do both, you can do both, but I don't think there's much point in moaning about this one when, first of all, it doesn't count towards the GC, and second of all, you had another option as well. But yeah, after a bit, I kind of settle in the top 10. I think I keep yo-yoing between 7th, 8th, 6th position, which obviously it's higher than my standards because this was B category, I believe, and I'm right in the middle to bottom of the B category, so being in the top 25% was definitely above my usual performance for this category. And you know what, I just enjoy a bit of gaming sometimes, and this was a bit of that. Nothing too serious, just go out there, enjoy yourself. Obviously you still have to pedal. I was still working hard, even though I think I did probably half the race in zone 2. But that was also due to the fact that mentally you're actually using quite a bit of your brain to move around and try and hit the right squares and avoid the red ones. So it wasn't just about spinning a leg as hard as you can, it was also about using that mental energy to make sure you steer correctly and get on the right block. So there was a bit more involved, hence probably subconsciously even not working as hard on the pedals that I would have done compared to a normal race. So yeah, all in all, this was 8 laps of this little, I think it was 2.8 kilometers course. Obviously as well, the take up on this race was a lot less. If you consider there was only 28 riders compared to the TT. I think it was more than 100 people doing that one, so goes to show. People probably less interested in this one, but yeah, like I said, I've enjoyed it. And in the end, I was fighting with this guy and I was hoping I'd get to 6th place from 7th, but he saved a cheeky little speed booster for the last bit of the race, which was a smart thing to do on his part, so it beat me to it. But 7th, I was still happy considering, yeah, top 25%, so was it with that? Oh, right. Done. That felt a lot better actually. Probably because I had the game to take my mind off the pain, and I might have not gone as hard, so I'm trying to focus on multiple things. But I saw some mixed reviews, but I had a bit of fun here. Can't lie. I wouldn't do it every week, but it's a decent thing for a change. Alright guys, we've actually finished the Zwift Games. That is actually bonkers. It feels like yesterday that I did stage 1. So my position after 6 weeks of racing, 5 of which went towards the GC and the last was bonus stage, I placed 2,861st out of over 75,000 riders. That means I've done better than 96.2% of riders, which, if you put it like that, it's actually bonkers. I'm in the top 4% of the Zwift Games races. I'm taking that all day. But more than a GC position, I think what I got out of these Zwift Games is the enjoyment of racing again. Now, I'd only done it a few times before the games, and that was months ago. And I got kind of bored with it because I was losing, and I don't like losing, and I am still losing, but I'm getting more enjoyment out of it. I'm not getting dropped sort of after 2 minutes. And I think I'll definitely carry on doing it. I'll embed it into some of my training. I normally try and get 2 sessions of training a week. So I'll keep one and I'll exchange one for the Zwift race. And I'm going to carry on having fun with it until I win my first race, which will happen at some point. I don't know when, but it'll happen. If you have taken part in the Zwift Games, let me know how it went for you. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? I really want to hear it. I'm interested. And if you want, we might do some races together in the future. And yes, if you've watched until now, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate the support. If you did enjoy the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you want to see more of me. Until then, thank you for watching. Ciao.